In this short film, we will be exploring how the air quality of one of the most polluted and fastest developing countries in Southeast Asia compares to a modern developed country in Asia. Air pollution is typically described using the measurements of several types of pollutants. In this video, we will show a comparison between Tokyo, Japan, and Hanoi, Vietnam. Hi, I was wondering if you knew any pollutants that might affect the air quality?
Well, I do know one, and it's like hydrogen sulfide. It's this colorless gas, and it's highly poisonous, but it's not that common.
Oh, yeah.
Well, do you know any?
Actually, I know three of them. I found this out just the other day. One of them is sulfur dioxide. It's also a colorless gas, and several human studies have actually shown that repeated exposure to sulfur dioxide below 5 ppm has caused permanent pulmonary, which is your lungs, impairment, which means like it's a problem.
Right.
And another one is ozone, but like the bad type of ozone. It's also a colorless gas, and breathing in the ozone can actually trigger a variety of health problems, including chest pain, coughing, and throat irritation. Sometimes your lungs can get congested. It can worsen into bronchitis, emphysema, and asthma. One more is nitrogen dioxide. It's a reddish-brown haze, like sometimes you see over the skyline. It's reddish-brown, and breathing this affects likelihood of respiratory problems. And nitrogen dioxide inflames the lining of the lungs, like the inside, and it can reduce immunity to lung infections.
Well, I do know this other one, actually. It's like carbon monoxide. It's also a colorless gas.
Yeah.
And it's like this, well, it inhibits the blood's agility to carry oxygen to body tissues, including like vital organs, such as the heart and the brain.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yep.
Hanoi is reported to be one of the most polluted countries in Southeast Asia. Other evidence to support this conclusion is construction sites around Hanoi lately. Near Siputra, you can see the new bridge being built, which may be a good thing in the future to improve transportation. But because of the amount of particulate matter being produced by the construction site, it is a bad thing at the moment. Since Hanoi is surrounded by mountains, the air pollution has a very hard time trying to escape, as the pollution is more dense than normal air. This means that the pollution just sinks down and cannot escape the city. As seen during the time period of 1985 to 1987, there was a huge climax in population growth, which heavily affected the air quality. Though the population growth rate is decreasing slowly, the population still is growing, which means more people, which means more cars, which means more emissions.
There are many reasons to why Vietnam's air quality is bad. One of the reasons is because some weekly activities that are done by some Vietnamese citizens, such as burning garbage, good luck paper to please the gods, and even sometimes just a social bonfire.
Citizens of Hanoi also use many types of vehicles like cars and motorbikes mostly. Not many of the citizens of Hanoi use public transportation. Well, because there aren't many options apart from buses, which often get very crowded and very uncomfortable.
In Hanoi, there are extremely high concentrations of PM2.5 microorganism per meters cubic of PM2.5. PM, particulate matter, is caused by many things such as construction sites, unpaved roads, fields, smokestacks, or fires. Particulate matter is hazardous to your health because fine particles can navigate their way through your bronchioles, small airways in your lungs that connect to the alveoli. The alveoli is the part of your lung that transfers the oxygen in your lungs to your blood. These can get clogged up with particulate matter, making this process harder for your body to do. This can then cause breathing difficulty and also lessen the oxygen levels in your blood. The government in Japan have been taking steps to reducing air pollution in Tokyo. They have been participating in making a change to improve their air quality to achieve the citizens of Tokyo, Japan's satisfaction. or as the governments in Hanoi don't take that much participation in improving their air quality in Hanoi. However, there are some communities that are willing to clean up Hanoi and try to make a difference on being green by following the motto reuse, reduce, and recycle.
Tokyo is full of cars and buses. However, many of these vehicles are hybrid, electric, and eco-friendly. This means that the emissions by cars is heavily reduced. Also, if the car that you own is older than 10 years, the insurance cost or car tax is increased. This encourages people to buy new and more efficient cars. On average, the daily ridership for trains in Tokyo is 37 million people, and annually the ridership is 13 billion people, with over 3.6 million people passing through Shinjuku Station each day. It is the biggest station in the whole wide world. However, thousands of people still like to walk to get around Tokyo. Nitrogen dioxide. There are more cars in Tokyo, and even though there are more eco-friendly cars, this still doesn't balance out the amount of non-eco-friendly cars to Hanoi. Because Tokyo is more densely populated, this means that more cars are needed. This is one of the reasons why nitrogen dioxide is more common in Tokyo. Suspended particulate matter. Due to a lack of control on environmental standards, poor construction techniques, and unchecked emissions from industries in Hanoi, hazardous particles become suspended in the air. It's one of the main reasons why suspended particulate matter is more common in Hanoi. Sulfur dioxide. There may be less sulfur dioxide in places in Tokyo because there are much less industries that require the burning of fossil fuels. Carbon monoxide. There are more people in Tokyo than Hanoi by approximately 7 million people. These extra 7 million people also contribute to the high amounts of electricity that is needed to run Tokyo. Having said that, Tokyo's population growth is slowly declining, whereas Hanoi's is increasing by 3.5% per year. With growing technology, the carbon monoxide levels are expected to decline in Tokyo, while in Hanoi it is expected to increase due to economic growth. Approximately 14,000 people each year are hospitalized due to air pollution in Hanoi, and in Japan it is approximately 7,000 people who are hospitalized. Hanoi has double the amount of people hospitalized than Tokyo, which really goes to show that air pollution really affects people's health.